ಭಯ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನಲ್ಲ. ನಾನ್
Okay, so good morning, all the students once again. So today is our lecture 4 of the probability. So in the last class, we have seen up to the multiplication rule. I think up to addition rule we have seen up to last class. So today we will continue from the multiplication rule. So today I will just quickly go ahead with all the formulas and then we will see all the question bank problems. So how much is possible, I want to finish it today. Okay. So without any interruption, let us start the classes. So I request all of you to kindly sit with the pen and paper so that any point which I tell you in the slide, we can make a note of it. So what is multiplication rule? If the probability has two events, let's say A and B, which occurs in sequence. So this is very important. It should occur in a sequence. Okay. So the probability of A and B will be called as probability of A and probability of B by K. So already I have discussed this in the previous slide where if A and B are independent event, then probability of A and B can be written as probability of A into probability of B. So don't get confused. We write this as probability of A intersection B, which can be written as probability of A into probability of B by A. So this formula has been derived from the conditional probability. Okay, so don't get confused. If you take this to this side, this will automatically become probability of A intersection B by probability of A is equal to probability of B by A, which is nothing but your conditional probability. Which is nothing but your conditional probability. So if you take this to this side, this will become the multiplication. So this is the multiplication rule, just one step extra we have done from the conditional probability. So just remember like this. So let us quickly take the one example. So the two cards are selected without replacement. So one card you have taken and you are not replacing it back. So find the probability of selecting diamond and then selecting a spade. So how you find this now? So finding the probability of selecting a diamond and then selecting a spade. What is the answer you will get? And don't forget that it is happening in sequence. The probability is happening in sequence. So the probability of selecting diamond and then spade will be equal to probability of diamond into probability of spade given diamond. So probability of diamond can be selected in 13 by 52 times. So once you have selected the diamond, you are not replacing it back. So obviously this event will be out of 51 now. So probability of spade of diamond will be also 30. So you can just calculate this. What is the answer you will get? I think approximately 0.064 you will get it. So probability of selecting diamond is out of 52 card. So next sequence will be 51 because diamond card we have already selected. So spade of diamond, I have discussed this in earlier class also. You read this as spade of diamond. So the spade of diamond, again you have 13 choices, but out of 51 only because this event has already happened. So 52 has done, one card is not replaced back. So the remaining will be 51. So when you calculate this, you will get 169 by 52 into 51. So I think approximately 0.064. You will get it. So this is a quick example. So let's go to the next part. The same example I have discussed here. You can just read it out. Now total law of probability. This is very important rule. So if A1, A2, A3 up to AK be a partition of a sample space such that they are mutually exclusive. It means A1 intersection A2, A2 intersection A3 are all null set. They are mutually exclusive and they are also exhaustive event. It means when you take all the union of A1 to AK, you will get entire sample space. This is what it means by exhaustive event. So that is one and only one must happen. So only one event should happen at once. Then the probability of any event A can be written as like this. The probability of A is equal to A intersection A1, A intersection A2, A intersection AK and so on. And this you can apply the multiplication rule. So probability of A1 into probability of A by A1 from conditional probability. You already know how to write probability of A intersection B. Similar way I have written here. So this part is from the conditional probability. You can write it. It's just the extension of that. So this rule is called as total probability of mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. So we will discuss this. We'll see in Venn diagram how does it happen. So this is a sample space. So in this sample space, I have taken some division. So let's say this is A1 event partitions. I have taken some partition. So this partition is A1 partition, then second partition is A2, and then AK is another partition. So now what will happen if I have another event A associated? A is another event. This is some other event. I will just change the color. So this event A is another event. It is some other event. So what is this? What is this portion? You can call it as. So this portion will definitely become A1 intersection A or A intersection E1. Anyway, you can write. Okay. What about this partition? What about this partition? This partition will be A2 intersection A, and similarly, up to how many partitions you have, this portion will be AK intersection A. So the probability of entire A, if you want to find the probability of entire A, this plus this plus this, all this union will come together. This is what we have written here. So probability of A1 intersection A you will get plus probability of A2 intersection A plus so on up to probability of AK intersection A you will get. So you already know how to write the probability. This is A1. So if you have probability of A intersection B, how you represent that? Probability of what is probability of A by B? What is probability of A by B? By condition probability. So probability of A intersection B can be written as probability of B into probability of A given B. So same rule will apply here. So this also you will get probability of A1 into probability of A by A1 plus probability of A2 into probability of A by A2 and so on. So this is the total law of probability. So this portion I have taken from the conditional probability. So you take any partition you take. In simple words, if I have taken, let's say, sample space and you divide this into event, let's say this is one event E and this is one event E complement. And if you have another event, let's say A associated with this, so this portion we call it as E intersection A, and this portion we call it as E complement intersection A. If you want to find the probability of A, you have to take the union of these two sets, because this portion plus this portion only you will get entire this event you have to find complete. So this plus this you have to find. So same way you will also get E intersection A plus probability of E complement intersection A. This is some other example I have taken, and then you can expand this further. So this is the condition probability and total log probability. So this is A1 intersection A1. This is A intersection AK. So I have taken the summation of all, and by condition probability, I have explained you. This is the part you will get. So now next come to the Bayes theorem. So Bayes theorem is a very important theorem because we have the problems based on conditional probability, total log probability, and then Bayes theorem. So the Bayes theorem states that if E1, E2, E3 up to En be a set of event associated with the sample space. So again, you have a event which is divided in the partition form. So if this is a sample space, So then E1, E2, E3 like that, they have done the partition. So this might be E1, this might be E2 and so on. So some partitions they have taken. So, and all have non-zero probability of occurrence, okay? And they form the partition of, as I just told you, it is just a partition. And let A be any event associated with S. So as I have told you, you will get another event in between. Then according to the Bayes theorem, what it says, that probability of partition set EI given A, it means we are finding the probability of EI when A has already happened is equal to probability of EI into probability of A by EI and then summation of all events. Okay, so this is a theorem. This is the formula you have to remember. This formula you have to remember. This formula you have to remember for Bayes theorem. So let's see the proof. Proof is not important if we will not ask you the proof, but I will just quickly recall the proof. So from the condition probability of EI by A can be written as EI intersection A by probability of A. We all know that. So don't be get confused. In place of EI by A, earlier we have seen probability of A by B, which can be written as probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Same concept I have applied in EI and A form. So by the condition probability, you will get this. So using the multiplication rule of probability, A will come here, come this side. Okay. So probability of B will come to the LHS. So we will get a condition probability. So EI intersection A becomes probability of EI into probability of A by EI. This is by the multiplication rule. And then again by total probability, as I've told you how to find the probability of entire A is summation of all the partitions and then A by EK. Okay, so this is by the total probability law. So don't be get confused how to get this probability law, because you have entire sample space division in form of, let's say, E and up to EK, and this is some event A in this case. So you will get E intersection A plus EK intersection of A, and then use the condition probability, you will get this part. So summation of all the partitions will be the probability of A, you will get it. So therefore, put this value 2 and 3 in equation number 1, you will get a required result. So you can substitute the value of EI intersection A from 2 and you substitute probability of A from 3. This is the required result you will get. So the more important for me is the formula. Proof we will not ask you, but still you can just look into the proof. We have 3 applications here: multiplication rule and total probability and the conditional probability as well. All the 3 formulas have applied together to get the Bayes theorem. What is the use of Bayes theorem? We will see in the problem. So this is about the Bayes theorem. Okay. So now let us quickly go to the question bank problems. Just read the problem carefully. There are 2 students, Anil and Ashima, appeared in the examination. Okay. The probability that Anil will qualify the exam is 0.05, and that of Ashima will qualify the exam is 0.10. The probability that both will qualify the exam is 0.02. So we have to find the probability of all the 3. So first, whatever the things are given, let us first put this in the event form. So let me take E be the event that Anil will qualify the exam. Always first try to write the event. So Anil will qualify the exam. Okay, and I will take F is the event where Ashima, ASHIMA, Ashima will qualify the exam. So what is the given part to us? What is given? Let us see what is given. the probability that Anil will qualify is 0.05. So probability of E is 0.05 they have given. Then probability of Ashima will qualify the exam is how much? 0.10. And then we have one more thing. Probability that both will qualify. It means probability of E also will qualify and F also will qualify. So that is given how much? 0.02. So this you can represent and is there, so it is intersection of F. So this part is given to us. So any doubt in this? E also will qualify and F also will qualify. So and will be represented as intersection. So A intersection F is also given to us. So now let us find the first part here. Find the probability that both Anil and Ashima will not qualify the exam. It means what? Probability of E complement means Anil also will not qualify and Ashima also will not qualify the exam. This we have to find. So what this means, we have to find the probability of E complement intersection F complement. So how can you calculate this? This you can write probability of E union F complement by De Morgan's law. By De Morgan's law you can write it. So you have a complement here. So to get rid of this complement, you have to write 1 minus of probability of E union F. So when you take 1 minus of that, complement will go. So E and F are both what? Independent event, they are not mutually exclusive. Anil of passing the exam and Fatima passing the exam has no connection in between. So apply the formula here. So this will be 1 minus of probability of E plus probability of F minus probability of E intersection F. You will get. Which formula I have applied here? Addition law, where E and F are not mutually exclusive. So you can just put the values here. I don't know what is the answer. 1 minus, what is the P of E? P of E is 0.05 plus P of F is 0.1 minus intersection F is 0.02. I don't have a space here, so can anyone tell me the answer of this? What is the answer of the first part? What is the answer of this? 0.05 plus 0.1 minus 0.02. I have to calculate. Okay. 0.03. Okay. 1 minus of this. No, not 0.13. Not 0.13. 1 minus of this part. So it is 0.87, correct. So answer of this will be 0.87. Fine. So let us go to the quickly for the next problem. We have a lot of problems to do, so you can just take down this. You can see the videos later, so I will just clear it out. So let's go to the B part. At least one of them will qualify the exam. So what do you mean by at least one? Probability of at least one of them qualify the exam can be written as 1 minus probability of what? Both will qualify, no? Correct. Probability of 1 minus probability of both will qualify the exam. both will qualify. So this means 1 minus of probability of E also will qualify and F also will qualify. So already we have the value. So 1 minus 0.02. So this will be approximately 0.98. Okay. So let us quickly see the C. Only one of them will qualify the exam. So how to find any one of them will qualify the exam? Probability of any one of them. Only one of them, sorry. I'm sorry. Only one of them. So only one of them will qualify. So only one of them qualify. So what is the possibility that only one will qualify? See, either E will not qualify and Ashima will qualify, one possibility, or Anil will qualify and Ashima will not qualify. This is the only possibilities. Only one of them. Anil will not qualify and Ashima will qualify, or Anil will qualify and Ashima will not qualify. So how can you put this? So this is the probability of entire part. So this is probability of E complement intersection F, right? So you have OR here, so OR means union. This will be E intersection of F complement. So you can just break this part. So probability of you will get E intersection of F plus probability of E intersection of F complement. I have already told you how to find the probability of intersection B in the previous slides. If anybody can tell me the answer, let us see. How to find the probability of, you remember I have told you one example where you have event A, right? And then you have event B. So this part is called it as A minus B, or we also call it as A intersection B complement. So how you will find probability of this part? This is A, this is B. So probability of A plus this, no? Plus probability of A intersection B. This is how you will find. Same way here. So what is this probability? You will get probability of E minus probability of E intersection F plus here also you will get probability of F minus probability of E intersection F. Just substitute the value and get the answer. So you do this. I have already explained you in the previous slides about this particular portion, that if you have A intersection B, this portion, so how you will calculate the probability of A plus probability of this plus intersection part, you have to find it out. Similarly here you have intersection F, so probability of E, and then intersection F you have to combine. All right. Okay, so what is the answer for this problem? So 0.11. Okay, 0.11. Please check this out. This we have got 0.98 and this we have got 0.87. Right? So let's go back to the question bank problem number. I've given the explanation here. You can see. So this is what I was talking about. So this formula, if this is event E and this is event F, so don't forget that what is this event here? This is intersection F. So if you want to find the intersection F complement, this event, if you have to find, what you have to do? From this event, this complete event, you have to subtract intersection F, right? Yes or no? So probability of E minus E intersection F you have to do. Then you will get this blue portion. This is what I was talking about. Okay. So just quickly take this problem. A committee of 2 persons is selected from 2 men and 2 women. What is the probability that the committee will have no man, 1 man and 2 men? It's just a one-line answer. You can, all of you, tell me what is the value for A, B, and C quickly. What is the probability of getting no man? Probability of no man. Quickly. See, a committee of 2 persons has to be selected. No? Committee should have 2 persons only. Committee should have 2 persons only. So committee have no man means there should be a 2 women. So what is the possibility of choosing 2 women? So no men into 2 women. This is for men. This is for women. So 0 men and 2 women. So 2C2 only because you have 2 women. Okay. We have 2 men also, but we are not selecting any men here. What is the total outcome? 4C2. Correct. Committee of 2 persons only have to select it from 2 plus 2, 4. What is the answer of this? 2C2, 4C2. So I think this will be approximately 1 by 6. You can check it out. So what is the probability of 1 man? So 1 man you have to select, and then you have no other option left. You have to select 1 woman also because committee of 2. And total is 4C2. That is the probability. So you just calculate it quickly, you will get that in 2 by 3. Check it out. And the probability of 2 men, the probability of 2 men will be how much? So 2 men and there will be no woman out of 4 sequence. So that will be equal to how much? Again 1 by 6. So that's directly you can do it. Right? So anything else in this? Any doubt? Let me know. So let's go to the next slide. So the answer I have given already. You can just quickly go through that. I will rub this part first. So answers I have given here already. You can just check it out. So question number 3. This is a very simple problem. I just don't want to waste time on this. A coin is lost price, but the probability that at least one head is occurred. So at least one head means these are the sample space, one or more head. So the probability will be how much? 3/4 only. So simple problem. I don't want to waste on this. You can just go through ahead. So let's go to the next part. Can you just quickly read this problem here? John is going to graduate from an industrial engineering department in a university by the end of the semester. Just read it. After being interviewed at 2 companies he likes, he assesses that his probability of getting an offer from a company A is 0.8 and his probability of getting an offer from the company B is 0.6. He is 80% sure that he will get a job offer from company A and he is 60% sure that he will get a job offer from company B. If he believes that the probability that he will get offer from both company is 0.5, okay, he is assuming that 50% chance he will get offer from both the companies. Then what is the probability that he will get at least one offer from these 2 companies? Can you try this? Because this is something which practical problem I have taken. So to answer this question, what you have to do first? Define the events, no? So first you define the event. Sorry. So let A be the event of getting offer from company A. Okay. So now B will be the event of getting offer from company B. So I will just change the color of the pen. Right. Now, what are the given things for us? Probability of A they have given. He's sure that he will get a call from the B is 0.8. So 0.8 is the probability given. So it is 0.8. Probability that he will get a call from company B is 0.6, I think. Yeah. And also he's sure that he will get a call from A and B, which is nothing but we call it as A intersection B. He is 50% sure, so 0.5. This part is given. Now we have to find the probability of at least one company, right? You should get a call from at least one company, get an offer from at least one company. Getting an offer, I will just write it more neatly here. Getting an offer from at least one company. So what are the possibilities? So either he will get offer from A or B, which means that what? Probability of A union B. So you can apply both the event are not mutually exclusive. Getting offer from A and getting offer from B are independent in nature. They are not affecting any of the event because they both are different companies. So apply the total of probability. So probability, addition law here. Probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. All the values you know, just substitute. So this will be 0.8, 0.6 minus 0.5. Can you tell me the answer? 0.8, 0.6 minus 0.5. 0.9. All right. 0.9 is the correct answer. He's 90%. 90% that he will get a offer from both the companies. So he's a good guy, intelligent guy. I think family will be happy. This is just a joke. So let's quickly go for the next part. So just quickly erase all. Okay. So solution I have written here. You can just quickly go through it. Now let us take this example. All these questions are from your question bank only. So once I will share the PPT, I want all of you to write down the problems once again in your notebook. So quickly answer me this question. Very simple problem. What is the probability of getting a total of 7 or 11 when a pair of dice is tossed? Quickly. Okay. So first let us quickly see the sample space. Sum of 7. What are the possible outcomes? 1, 6, 6, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the probability of sum of 7 is 6 by 36, which is 1 by 6. Simple, no? Okay. B. Sum of 11. What are the possible outcomes? 6, 5 and 5, 6, only 2. So the probability will be 2 by 36, which is 1 by 18. I want to find 7 or 11. So the probability of 7 or 11 will be probability of A intersection, sorry, A and B, both A and B. So that will be A intersection B, no? So A union B only. I'm sorry, I have done some mistake here. 1 second. So probability of A minus probability of intersection B. 1 by 6, 1 by 18. They are mutually exclusive event, this should be 0. So how much? 2 by 9. Correct. Okay, Abhinav, you are right. Very good. Very good. Hari, nice. Okay. All right. Now quickly go to this problem. Okay, suppose that we have a fuse box containing 20 fuses. All right, of which 5 are defective. If 2 fuse, okay, already I'm getting some answers. Let us check. Very good, Abhinav Ram. 1 by 19. क्या बात है. Okay, अगर मेरे पास होते तो मैं गले लगा देता यार. Very good. Okay, let us see this. If 2 fuses are selected at random and removed from the box in succession, the events are happening in one by one after the other, without replacing. Okay, one fuse you take, don't replace it back. So the next event, the total number of outcome will reduce. That is the one important point. Okay, so what is the probability that both fuses are defective? All right. So for that, let us first quickly identify, write the events now. So I will take A be the event. A be the event of first time is defective, na? First fuse is defective. Let us put in this one. First fuse is defective. Okay, all right. So B will be the event. The next part, event of second fuse will be defective. If two fuses are selected, na, at random, and remove the ball without replacing. So suppose that we have fuse bus containing two fuse, which are 5 are defective. So we are talking about defective fuse. So event of second fuse is defective. That is the event. So what we have to find now? What we have to find, guys, here? Find the probability that both fuses are defective. But in this case, okay, what he's telling, probability of A and B, correct. We have to find the probability of, अरे यार ये इरेजर क्यों बार बार आ जाता है, probability of A and B we have to find, simple. So what is nothing but what, probability of A intersection B, which is nothing but probability of A into probability of B by A. समझ में आ रहा है? कौन सा फॉर्मूला लगाया मैंने? दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट ही हो गए ना. तो व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ए? Probability of A is first fuse is defective. So 5 fuses are defective out of 20. So first event of 5 by 20 ही रहेगा. ठीक है. यहाँ पे क्या है, probability of B निकाल रहे हैं when A has already happened. So when A has already happened and we are not replacing it back, so total number of outcome will be reduced because first fuse already taken out. And what is the probability of B remaining then? 4. Got it? Simple concept. So this will be 1 by 4 into 4 by 19. So that will be equal to 1 by 19. So what about A and B concept? Don't be get confused. This simple, na? Event A occurs and then B occur. ऐसे लिख सकते हैं ना? And then B occur when A has already happened. When A has already happened. थोड़ा सा समझने वाली बात है यहाँ पे, थोड़ा सा दिमाग पर जोर लगाओ, ज्यादा कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट इसमें है नहीं. तो ये इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट हो गया हमारा, इंडिपेंडेंट है, इसलिए हम लोगों ने ये वाला कॉन्सेप्ट लगा दिया. 4 by 19 आएगा क्योंकि ऑलरेडी इवेंट ए जो है वो हो चुका है. तो 4 में से 19 ही इसका आंसर होगा. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सेकंड फ्यूज इज डिफेक्टिव इतना ही रहेगा. कुछ ज्यादा रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, सिंपल प्रॉब्लम. ओके, कर लेना इसको. चलो, सो इसका नेक्स्ट पार्ट कहाँ है भैया? नेक्स्ट लेवल, नेक्स्ट कर लो जल्दी जल्दी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 का 1 by 19 आ चुका है. ठीक है, चलो. टाइम कितना हो रहा है? 12:24. एक लास्ट प्रॉब्लम देख लेते हैं, उसके बाद मैं वाइंड अप. ये क्वेश्चन मैं नहीं कराऊंगा, दिस यू डू इट. दिस इज वेरी सिंपल. दिस क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 इज आई एम लीविंग फॉर यू. दिस इज वेरी सिंपल, you do it. So I will go to the next part. क्वेश्चन बहुत ही सिंपल है ये, इसमें ज्यादा कुछ एक्सप्लेनेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, तो आप लोग कर लेना इसको. अगर डाउट है तो मुझे, इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट आस्क मी द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इन नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल डू इट. So let's, it's a simple problem, I don't want to do this. हाँ, ये क्लास क्वेश्चन मैं करा दूँ, थोड़ा एप्लीकेशन ओरिएंटेड प्रॉब्लम है, and then we'll wind up for the today. Just read this question very carefully. There's an electrical system consists of 4 components as illustrated in the figure. You look into the figure. ठीक है? The system works if component A, B work and either of the components C or D works. So the reliability. हमको reliability की बात करनी है यहाँ पे, जो reliability means probability of working of the electrical system. So probability of working of the electrical system जो है shown in the figure. So find the probability that the entire system works and the component C does not work given that entire system works. Assume that the 4 components are independently working. तो मुझे इसका आंसर कोई बताएगा जल्दी? A and B are connected in, देखो A और B जो है वो सीरीज में कनेक्टेड है, C और D जो है वो पैरेलली कनेक्टेड है. तो या तो C काम करे या D काम ना करे, या C ना काम करे या D ना काम करे, D काम करे. Either C works or D don't work, or if C don't work or D works, but A and B should work. That is the condition here. So the entire system will work because this is the picture they have shown here. So what you have to do in this case? So the probability of entire system work, I am directly taking the first part. The entire system works. कैसे होगा? कोई मुझे बताएगा? Either A work, okay, A work and B to also work. A work and B work, and C or D. I am putting the word very carefully here, C or D. In this case, A and B both has to work, but in this case, either C or D work. ये कॉन्सेप्ट आएगा यहाँ पे, तो मैं इसको मैथमेटिकली लिखता हूँ. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ A इंटरसेक्शन B, ऑलराइट, इंटरसेक्शन ऑफ C यूनियन D. करेक्ट है? तो इसको मैं लिखता हूँ प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ A इंटरसेक्शन B. ठीक है? इंटरसेक्शन ऑफ, अच्छा ठीक है, इसको एक काम करते हैं, डायरेक्टली इसको लिख देते हैं ना, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी ऑल द इवेंट्स, ऑल द प्रोबेबिलिटी आर वर्किंग इंडिपेंडेंटली, सो दे आर ऑल इंडिपेंडेंट इवेंट. तो जहां जहां पर भी इंटरसेक्शन है वहां पे मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ A इनटू प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ B इनटू probability of C union D. This is what we will get it, because it is independent event. A, B, C and D are independent. So wherever you have intersection, we have already seen independent event means you will get probability of A into probability of B. This part we already know for independent. Wherever we have intersection, we will put multiplication. So multiply, multiply, और ये probability of C intersection D हो जाएगा. तो इसको how to solve this? Probability of A, probability of B into, how to solve this part? This I will write 1 minus of probability of C complement intersection D complement, because I know the formula of independency, because if I have intersection I can directly write in terms of multiplication. So I have wrote this in intersection form. So now it is easy. So this will be probability of A into probability of B into 1 minus of probability of C complement into probability of D complement. So now you can solve this easily. हो जाएगा? तो इसका आंसर क्या आएगा मुझे बताओ कोई. प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ A कितना है? 0.9 है. 0.9 into probability of B is also 0.9. Then we have 1 minus probability of C complement. C is 0.8. 1 minus 0.8, how much? It is C complement here. So C complement means this part is nothing but 1 minus P of C. This part means 1 minus P of D. So this will be 1 minus 0.8. Yes, probability intersystem work is 0.777. Okay, you'll see that. So 1 minus को quickly calculator से solve कर लो. मेरा calculator कहाँ है भाई? Okay, so this is 1 minus 0.8. So this will be 0.2 into 1 minus 0. इसका क्या है probability? This is also 0.8. So this is also you will get 0. This is also 0.2. So when you solve this, you will get 0.78 approximately. So this is the answer of A. Quickly, can you tell me the answer of B? Very easy है. Probability of, I'll just write directly. Component C does not work, given that entire system works. So it means what? The probability of system work, but C does not work. C does not work. Whole divided by probability of entire system work. Given that means I have written in like this. So divided by this is a given. So mathematically, how you write entire system? When entire system works, A work and B work, and C does not work in this case, and D work, and whole divided by probability of entire system. Work. Probability of entire system work answer already we have got, which is 0.78, I guess. Am I right? So just put the value here. So the all events are independent in nature. So this will be probability of A into probability of B into probability of C complement into probability of D. So this will be whole divided by 0.78. This is C complement, so you have to write here 1 minus probability of C. So this will be 0.9, 0.9, 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2, and then 0.8, whole divided by 0.78. What is the answer? 0.16. 0.16 है, यानी approximately 16% चांस है कि अगर C complement, if C does not work, तो 16% चांस है कि सिस्टम जो है वो काम करेगा. यही इसका कहानी है बस. This is only what it means. So this means that this is, अरे यार एक बार इरेजर क्यों आ जाता है? 0.16. Alright. So up to question number 8 I have already done. Okay, so yeah, answer is correct. So from question number 9, we will see from tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow I will complete. Make sure that tomorrow all of you will attend. Tomorrow I will complete all your question bank problem. Question bank problems. All of you should attend. Of probability. Okay. So tomorrow I will complete this, and from day after tomorrow I will start a new chapter called random process. This chapter I will start from Wednesday. This tomorrow I will, any cost I have to complete this. So don't miss the class tomorrow. Clear? So please attend this. So if anybody has any doubt, you can unmute yourself. If not, you can wind up.